In this video, we're going to look at practice sets in Google Classroom. Practice sets allow you to create interactive assignments for your students. You'll be able to save time because the practice sets are auto-graded for you, and it will allow you to identify concepts that need more instructional time because of the analytics that you get from practice sets. You'll easily be able to identify students who need extra support, and it will help you shape your future lessons with performance insights. So let's take a look at practice sets and how to build one. You'll notice that in Google Classroom, over on the left-hand side, you have a new tab. It's called Resources. So if we click on Resources, you're going to be able to see where all of these new resources are going to live. Now you'll see practice sets and a video activity. We'll cover video activities in a different video, but for now we're going to create a practice set. You can also get to practice sets from the Classwork tab. So we're going to build our practice set and then we'll look at how we're going to assign it. So you'll see here you can search for your resources if you know what you're looking for. You can also filter and show just practice sets or just video activities, but we're going to go ahead and start a new practice set. So you'll see that this practice set interface looks an awful lot like a Google form, and that's kind of the idea. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give our practice set a name. My students have been studying ducks, so we're going to call this Ducks Practice. And we are ready to start adding some questions. So you'll see it starts off with one question. You'll see that you have the option of adding short answer questions, paragraphs, select, single select, or multi-select. Notice that after short answer, single select, and multi-select, you see an auto. That means that you can auto grade. You can set this up to auto grade those questions. For paragraph or essay questions, you'd have to go back in there and grade that yourself. So let's do a single select, which would be a multiple choice question. You'll see that you have a place to type your question, or you can even insert an image and use that as a question. You also have a math tool, the ability to add a math formula with a full keyboard for your math formulas. So we're going to go ahead and just enter in a multiple choice question and some answers. You can rearrange your questions, move them up or down. You can delete a question. You can either add another option. And remember, you can even add a formula or insert an image into an option as well. Now, if we scroll down, we'll see skills and some suggested skills. So Classroom is using AI to analyze the question and answer choices to see if it can determine what kinds of things that you're quizzing on or you're practicing on. And so if we look at this, we can see that neither of these really is getting at the right what we're trying to get with this question, but let's just go ahead and pick one and see what happens. So we'll notice that once we do that, we populate a couple of videos here. So if your students are stuck while they are going through this question, they can get a hint. And we can see that even if the skill wasn't exactly matching our question, look at what it did pull. How do ducks stay dry? That's a great resource to be able to help with the answer to this question. Whereas this one, not so much. So we're going to go ahead and remove that one. Notice that you can also play the video here. So it's important to play that video and determine if the content is really going to be helpful to students. So you can do that right there in the interface. You also have the ability to add your own resources. So if the AI didn't get it right, which can happen, you can add your own resource in here. You can just give them a text-based hint to get them back on the right track, or if you have a different video, you can supply your own video. We're going to do a hint in the form of a website. So I'm going to copy and paste in a URL that we've been using to serve as a hint here. We will add that in as a resource that students can access if they need additional help. So we're ready to go ahead and add a new question. So you see we have a new question option here. We can also insert some text. We'll look at import in a different video. So let's go new question and let's add another question. Be sure to mark the correct answer and check the skills that they have suggested. That one doesn't match at all, so we're not going to highlight that. And let's look at the video that they have suggested. Remember, you can go ahead and watch that video and make sure that it is okay to serve as a resource for that particular question. All right, we've got a couple of questions on our quiz. Let's take a look over here. Notice that you can insert content at any portion in the quiz. So you can add a new question, a text box, upload an image, insert from Drive or import. And notice this extra help button. So as students are working through the practice set, if they get stuck, they can access some extra help. Now, again, it's using AI to determine what resources might be available, and none of these are really hitting on what we're trying to do through this practice set. We're going to delete all of those resources. But notice here, again, you can add your own resources in the form of a hint, or if you have a YouTube video that works, you could put that YouTube video in here as well. One other thing we need to look at is the settings for the practice set. So if we click on this gear here, you'll notice that this is helping you with the auto grading. So you can select allow equivalent answers. And so this is for equivalent values. If you're doing a math question, you can also choose to ignore capitalization so that the answers will be correct regardless of how they capitalize. So make sure you check those settings before you assign the practice set. We're done with this practice set. We're going to go ahead and click Done Editing. It's going to show you your practice set again, and we're going to go back so that we are back at our Resources tab. In the next video, we're going to look at what this looks like on the student side and how you assign the practice set to your students.